This message is just for you. You are good enough. This is the episode for you. Why is it that no matter how much I do, I still don't feel successful? I'm Emily, this is the Language Confidence Project, and I'm here every weekday to join you on your language journey, to encourage you and to tell you that you can do this and you don't have to do it alone. Now, I know from talking to you in the YouTube comments, from being part of the 100 Conversations project, and from talking to you in the Language Confidence Project Patreon Hangouts, that we are an ambitious lot. And I know that we're doing big things. I know we want to be successful. So why don't we feel it? How much more do we need to do before we start to feel it? And that's why today I'm just popping in with a quick reminder that if you're waiting to feel successful, you are making your life way harder than it needs to be. And that's not because being successful is really far off. It's just because there's a genuine risk that you're not going to recognize when you get there. If you've ever tried to follow Google Maps when the signal is patchy, you'll know how frustrating it can be. Every time you think you're heading in the right direction, the whole map rotates and shows that you've been walking the exact opposite way to where you wanted to go. And the same is true of letting the feeling of success guide you. It will send you in all directions, and it will tell you that you're almost at your destination 1 minute, only to change its mind the next and send you right back where you came from. And this video is not about saying don't trust your feelings, because I truly believe that your feelings about situations are normally an excellent compass to guide you on your way. But the trouble is, feeling successful isn't one feeling, it's many feelings. It's feeling popular, intelligent, well-read, it's feeling socially literate, it's all tied up in status, money, qualifications. So it's not as much one fickle emotion as too many competing emotions that can't agree on where you should go next. And that right there is why goals matter so much. Because if you have a vague notion of wanting to be fluent in your language, there are so many ways to be successful at that, so many definitions of what that could look like, that you'll find yourself vulnerable to every external pressure there is. Someone's got a better accent than you stop feeling successful. Someone's just passed an exam that you're not even taking, you stop feeling successful. But if you have a clear end goal and you've reverse engineered that goal to give you small, manageable activities each day, you know what success looks like for you. And then you're less distracted by everything and everybody else, and you feel less pulled by all the alternative paths that you could be taking. And so for the rest of this week, if you'd like a practical takeaway or a call to action that you can implement in your language learning, this is it. Every day this week, when you plan your day, I'd love to invite you to be really intentional about what kind of successful you'd like to feel at the end of each evening or at the end of each study session based on the tasks you set. And not just a question of what have you studied, because that's too generic, but what have you learned? What have you made? What have you practiced? What have you talked about? Who have you had conversations with? And then when you get to the end of that day, the end of that study session, go back to it. Ask yourself, did you do what you set out to do? And then acknowledge it. And it doesn't matter if a voice pipes up in your head and says, well, actually, I still don't feel successful because I'm not fluent, I'm not rich yet, I forgot this thing, I made these mistakes, because this isn't about letting our feelings grant us permission to celebrate doing what we set out to do anymore. It's an objective tick box exercise. Did we do the thing? And if we did, we thank ourselves for it. And if we did some of the thing, but not all of it, we thank ourselves for what we did do. And if we did something else, but it was useful, we acknowledge that as well. And the aim here is that you don't want to let feelings of success or failure run the show, with you asking yourself, do I feel successful along the way? What we want is the reverse of that. You set the compass, you tell yourself what your goals are, you make sure that you know how to tell that you've finished them, and when you have finished them, you back away. You're done, you get to rest. And the thing is, even if you don't feel successful, you are doing success. This is a long road, and languages aren't always easy, but the effort that you put in will pay you back, and it will be so worth it. None of this work is ever wasted. So appreciate what you're doing for yourself, because it's huge, and future you will be so grateful. Have a wonderful day, language learners. Thank you so much for your comments as ever. They make me so happy. And I will see you back here tomorrow.